Greetings, Clark family. And as you know, I'm Oliver Clark. This is the darling Miranda Clark, soon to be a graduate, study, fellow. I have no idea what they call you guys. What do they call graduate applicants?
Masters of Architecture?
No, there's like a word for like pursuing graduate stuff. I don't know.
It's new to me.
It's like pretender for boxing, except it's for graduate studies. It means that you haven't actually done it yet, but you're like...
A candidate?
Yeah, graduate candidate. Yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect.
So Oliver didn't say that, but we're artists, we're married, and we share a wood shop together, and lots of other things, obviously. So this is where we sit and have a drink and talk about our week, and what happened and should have happened and we failed at, so...
Yeah, and just let our family know what we're up to, because we're self-employed and it's a mystery.
Yeah, we're answering the number one question, what do you do all day?
That's right. So.
Which, you know, there's lots of this.
That's not true.
There's actually a lot less of this since we moved to Columbia.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Let's see. This week I have 3 sculpture orders. I did a little install this morning at a friend's counseling clinics. That was really fun. The colors just worked perfectly. And so I got to go and hang one of my larger series from Farina.
What's the name of that piece?
Moving Left to Right. And her clinic this morning, and it was just so beautiful. There's like 2 40-year-old jade trees in her waiting room, and like this nice fountain, so it's like these plant vibes, and then my sculpture, and so I love seeing it all come together. Plus, for the last few years, my work has been in like really immaculate hotel lobbies and corporate office spaces, so it's fun to feel like my work is belonging in people's homes. Let's see. Did that. I had my first grad school virtual open house today, which also sucked the life out of me. It's just a lot to take in. But they did have a nice PowerPoint about financial aid and funding, which seems to be an enigma. But yeah, so that was my week. How about you, Oliver?
So this week I took rough lumber and cut it into 1/4-inch strips, and so that took 2 days, I think. And that was really tough. A lot of the wood I had was very, very twisted, so that kind of sucked. So I lost a lot of material, but as our first mentor says, woodworking is the most wasteful of media, so that definitely proved true. But I got a lot of material out of it, and then...
Which there's like a line between like wonky lumber and when I come out to the garage to cut something on the miter saw and I feel afraid because of what Oliver is cutting.
Yeah, so. It stopped the table saw a couple times.
I would just look over.
That's fine, kind of to be expected. But anyhow, so that was a couple days, and I got all the wood cut up. And then I spent the next 2 days trying to steam it and put it into a jig, which I got the jig laid out. So it's for a, how big is it? It's 9 by 8 feet. That is the size of a sculpture.
So still bigger than our outfeed table.
Yeah, which is 4 by 8. So it's 9 by 8 feet, and that's going to be an addition for a sculpture in Colorado. So that's what I'm working on. I was really close to getting to actually start bending the wood. So it takes like probably about 4 or 5 hours for the wood to be pliable of being in a steam box. So I kind of started early in the morning, and then I just keep the water going and boiling. And right whenever that time had about hit today, it started to rain. So, and it's so big, it's too big for the garage, so I have to be doing it on the driveway. Yeah, so that didn't really work out. But I'm all prepped, so I think I'll be able to start it early on the next day, or at least as soon as the wood is steamed. So I'll get up at 6 and start steaming and boiling the water, and so hopefully by like 1 tomorrow I'll be bending the wood into a form, and then it'll probably need to rest like that for a few days, and then I'll try to laminate it together. So
it's a really messy process of like gluing and...
Yeah, it is, but we'll try to get a lot of footage of that.
Yeah, but the main thing about him bending for the table and for the larger commission is he spent the better part of yesterday and today cutting up conduit for the pegs for the jog holes.
Yeah, I've been cutting up little pieces of 3/4 inch rod, so 4 inches tall by 3/4 inches wide, that can ideally work as different jigging for the wood to bend around. So, yeah.
Which I posted a photo earlier. It looks nice because normally you can tell when everything is the right temperature because it doesn't look as kinky. Like it fits the form, but it might have like a little divot or something in it. But this it looks really smooth.
Yeah, a lot of that's also like learning how to bend the wood in the right ways. Because you kind of have to like train the wood to bend the way you want it to, and then put it in the shape. I definitely am not as skilled at it as I would like to be, but hopefully with all this practice it'll get better. With the big piece I'm making, that fixes a lot of that problem. We're talking about these really small pieces I'm trying to make right now.
Have like
for the big pieces, it's very graceful curves. So, but yeah, we're trying to make like 2 feet ones.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, next week, still working on sculpture orders. You'll be solo for a few days while I'm going to visit some friends, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, she's going to visit her bridesmaid buddy.
Just my 2 college best friends. One lives in Seattle and the other one lives in New Jersey. And we're taking the trek to go and be with each other for a few days before life gets crazy again. So it's really excited to hang out and cook together.
And then after that, we'll probably be planning trips to go visit colleges.
Yeah.
See what they're like in person versus just Zoom.
Yeah. So I think my options are kind of down to 2 schools. Still waiting to hear back about one with financial aid, and the other one, they've given me a really good offer that I don't want to ignore. But at the same time, it wasn't necessarily my top choice. I'm mostly just surprised of the scholarship they gave me because they're a school that gives no scholarships. So, yeah, it's just a tough decision and something that's gonna, wreak havoc on our lives. And
I wouldn't call it havoc. It's gonna be a life change. We're gonna find a new place to live. So it's not havoc.
And the program that I'm applying to is not just a 2-year standard graduate program. This is 3.5 years. So it is.
It's really 4 years. You should say 4.
The half is the summer.
Is it?
But sometimes there's the summer after. It's all messy, and there's like no breaks. So that was part of the overwhelming part of the open house today. Is just like, man, I am going to be back in school, and there's just no stopping.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a lot.
Yeah, but you'll do good.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, we'll see you next Friday.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
Bye, Clark family.